Welcome. My name's Mike. I'm responsibility for your safety whilst you're on campus this afternoon. So if I can take 5 minutes of your time to talk about some safety measures and to talk about how the ceremony will run once we get going. So on the note of fire safety, please be aware that during the ceremony, if the fire alarm was to sound in the hall, you will be asked to remain seated until a brief investigation is carried out, and that will determine if there is an incident we need to react to. The fire alarm will still sound during this period, and if an evacuation is required, you will be instructed to do so by the marshals. Please follow the instructions given to you at all times. In the event of an evacuation, please note the fire exits in this main hall. Wheelchair users and others with mobility issues, please note the fire exit that you would use are the doors nearest to the stage on the left or any door on the right-hand side. For guests sitting in the balcony, your fire exits are immediately behind you or the door on your right-hand side at the front of the balcony. For guests sitting in the Nick Whitehead Theatre, your fire exits are through the main entrance doors of the theatre or through the fire exit door at the front of the theatre to your left-hand side. In the event of an emergency, the marshals will direct you to your nearest fire exit and to the external fire assembly points. So at the start of the ceremony, when the processional music is played, the procession will enter the hall. At this point, the Chief Marshal will ask you all to stand, and we'd ask you to remain standing until the procession party is on the stage, when the Chief Marshal will advise you to sit. During the ceremony, the use of mobile phones is strictly prohibited, so please ensure all phones are switched off or on silent. You are also requested to refrain from talking throughout the ceremony. If you have children in attendance and they become restless, we respectfully request that you exit the hall quietly at the rear. The ceremony will last approximately an hour to an hour and a half, and we ask that you remain seated as far as possible until the end of the ceremony. This will minimise disruption or disturbance for others. Please note, photographs can be taken during the ceremony, but we kindly ask that you do not obstruct the view of any other guests or the aisles. At the end of the ceremony, music will play again, and you will be requested to stand whilst the procession leaves the hall. We will invite graduates to join the procession as it leaves the hall, followed by their guests, and then you can make your way to the reception marquee at the front of the building. Refreshments will be made available. Please do not leave the hall until directed to do so by the marshals, and this will allow the procession time to clear the hall. We would ask that you arrange to meet graduates in the marquee after the ceremony rather than in the main reception. We are delighted to be able to welcome you to the university today. We hope you enjoy your ceremony and the rest of the day. Diolch, thank you.
Croeso I Prifysgol Glyndwr, Wrecsam, ac I seremoni raddio y Brifysgol. Yr ail o 6 seremoni i'w chynnal dros 3 diwrnod. Welcome to Wrexham Glyndwr University and to the university's graduation ceremony. The second of 6 ceremonies to be held over 3 days. Y mae 2 ran i'r seremoni sy'n cael ei alw yn gynulliad y Brifysgol. Yn rhan gyntaf y cynulliad byddwn yn derbyn yn gymrawd anrhydeddus unigolyn a ystyrir yn deilwng o'r anrhydedd yma. Yn ail ran y seremoni byddwn yn cyflwyno tystysgrifau, diplomau a graddau. There are 2 parts to this ceremony, known as a congregation of the university. In the first part, we will receive as an honorary fellow an individual who has been judged worthy of this honour. In the second part of the ceremony, we will be presenting certificates, diplomas and degrees. Mae nawr yn rhoi pleser mawr I mi wahodd Dr Lee Griffin, cadeirydd bwrdd y Llywodraethwyr, I agor y seremoni y prynhawn yma. It gives me great pleasure to invite Dr Lee Griffin, Chair of the Board of Governors of Glyndwr University, to open the ceremony.
Gwestaion, Bonefegion, a Bone Gestai, Gradedegon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, graduates. For many of you, today's ceremony is the official end of your studies at Wrexham Glyndwr University and is marked by these formal proceedings known as a congregation. The reason for this congregation is so that degrees can be conferred, honorary fellowships awarded, and other business which concerns this university be transacted. And so by the authority given to me by the university, it gives me great pleasure to open this congregation of Wrexham Glyndwr University and to ask that the university proclamation be read.
Hyder trwy addysg. Bydded hysbys I aelodau'r Brifysgol ac I bawb sydd yn bresennol. Y cynhelir heddiw ar y dyddiad hwn, dydd Mercher yr ail o Dachwedd 2022, yn Ninas Wrecsam, gynulliad awdurdodedig o Brifysgol Glyndwr Wrecsam, I dderbyn yn gymrawd anrhydeddus unigolyn teilwng, sydd trwy ei gweithredoedd wedi profi ei hunan yn deilwng o barch yn y gymdeithas academaidd. Derbynir i'w gwobrau hefyd unigolion sydd trwy efrydiaeth yn y Brifysgol a thrwy ddisg, medr a dyfalbarhad wedi teilyngu'r cyfryw raddau yn unol ag ordeiniadau'r Brifysgol. Gyda phob gweddi a dymuniad, ar iddynt fwynhau iechyd a hir hoedl I wasanaethu ei hoes a'i cenedl dan fendith y nef. Yna, dy oleuni a gyfyd mewn tywyllwch, ath dywyllwch a fydd fel hanner dydd. A rhai a fyddant ohono ti a adeiladant yr hen ddiffeithleoedd. Y mae digonedd o air ac o emau, ond geiriau deallus yw'r trysor gwerthfawrocaf. Hyder trwy addysg. Confidence through education. Be it known to members of the university and to all here present that an authorised congregation of Wrexham Glyndwr University is being held here in the city of Wrexham. This day, Wednesday, 2nd November 2022, to receive as an honorary fellow a worthy person who, through her actions and deeds, has shown herself to be worthy of the respect of the academic community. In addition, those who have, through study at the university and through learning, ability, and perseverance, been deemed worthy of university awards in accordance with the ordinances of the university will be admitted to their appropriate degrees, in the hope that they may be given health and long life to serve their generation and their country under the blessing of heaven. Then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. Mae Owain Glyndwr wedi ein hysbrydoli ni dros y canrifoedd. Tra roedd Shakespeare yn disgrifio'r dyn, roedd y bardd Cymraeg Iolo Goch yn disgrifio ei lys. Gorau Cymro tro trylew bia'r wlad. Lyn bywer lew, gŵr meingryf, gorau mangre, a ffiau'r llys, hoff yw'r lle. The spirit of Glyndwr has inspired generations. The Welsh poet Iolo Goch described his court, while Shakespeare spoke of the man. He is a worthy gentleman, exceedingly well-read and profited in strange concealments. Valiant as a lion and wondrous affable, and as bountiful as mines of India. Wel, mae nawr yn bleser gen I alw ar Pete Gibbs I gyflwyno yr athro WGYU CBE am gymrodoriaeth anrhydeddus. It now gives me pleasure to call upon Pete Gibbs to present Professor Uzo Ayubi, CBE, for an honorary fellowship.
I'm delighted to present Professor Uzo Iwobi for the award of Honorary Fellowship. Originally from Nigeria, Professor Iwobi holds a law degree from the University of Nigeria, and she qualified as a solicitor and a barrister and was called to the Nigerian bar. Among her various educational achievements, she obtained a PGCE from the University of Wales and holds a master's degree in business management from the University of Glamorgan. She's also an accredited Level 7 executive coach with the Institute of Leadership and Management. She leads learning and development schemes for African Caribbean elders across Wales through the Black History Cymru Elder Scheme, and she mentors young people and adult learners to achieve their visions and aspirations through the coaching group that she facilitates. Uzo has enjoyed a varied and illustrious career in the UK. After moving to Wales, she worked as a lecturer in law at the Swansea Law School for 9 years. In 2004, she joined South Wales Police, and in the same year, she founded the very first African Community Centre, ACC, in Wales, and served as chairperson for 15 years. Uzo was appointed to the Police National Diversity Team based at the Home Office to represent the Association of Chief Police Officers and the 43 police forces in the UK on a high-level strategic tripartite partnership, including the Home Office, the Police Authority, and Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary, where she was tasked with developing national policies on equality and diversity. She also served with the Commission for Racial Equality UK as a commissioner until 2007. Uzo now serves as the Chief Executive Officer of Race Council Cymru and sits on the board of several voluntary organisations. This includes serving as the chairperson of the African Community Centre in Wales, which she founded in 2004. In 2022, she became a Fellow of the Learned Society of Wales and a Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. She led the development of the Windrush Cymru, Our Voices, Our Stories, Our History exhibition, which is currently touring across Wales. In 2021, she delivered a TEDx talk on her personal journey. Uzo has been recognised and commended with numerous awards and honours over the years. Too many to mention here, but some highlights include 2 honours from Queen Elizabeth II. She received an OBE in 2008 in recognition of her services to community relations and South Wales communities, and in 2022 a CBE for services to race equality and championing diversity and inclusion. She was one of 2 people highlighted by National Lottery Heritage Cymru to have her image highlighted on Stonehenge for her voluntary contributions to culture and heritage in Wales. She was presented with the First Minister's Recognition Award for her contribution to race equality and race relations in Wales and received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Association of Nigerian Communities. Uzo is being honoured for her services to race equality and race relations. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Professor Uzo Iwobi, CBE, for the sake of honour, Fellow of Glyndwr University.
Croeso, shwmai, shydych chi heddi. Dwi'n dysgu Cymraeg. I'm learning Welsh. Vice-Chancellor, Chair, what a wonderful, inspirational team of lecturers and managers in this wonderful university. I'm truly honored and thankful to God, my family, who's always supported me, and to this fantastic university. What an honor. I'm truly humbled to be here today. I was asked to say a few words to you, and I took the opportunity to look online at what we say about Glyndwr University, and a couple of things struck me. You've heard some of my journey. You've heard the good highlights, but there were really dark times, and perhaps As wonderful students here, you might have gone through some of those yourselves. But there was a question on the website that struck me. Glyndwr University says, why choose us? Because we are committed to your future. That's a pledge. Why choose us? Because we are inclusive. And finally, why choose us? Because we have a flexible approach. And those three statements really struck a chord with me. I won't spend my time telling you about the racism that my family and I had faced, but I will tell you one. And that is a journey of resilience that I'm hoping will touch you, but also inspire you to go and fulfill this beautiful, bright future that awaits you, having studied in this distinguished university. Having settled in Wales with my family, nothing prepared me for the fact that both my children, who were born in Swansea, to a black mother, a mixed heritage father, half Nigerian, half Jewish. His mother's white Jewish and English. My children were the only two children who were ethnic in their school. And at the age of 7, my son was locked in a toilet by 4 white children, and 1 held the door, and 3 kicked him to an inch of his life. And they said they didn't want a black child in the school. He was hospitalized because of that. And maybe what I'm sharing is striking some of you who have gone through racism and hate. But I remember telling my 7-year-old son to rise above the hatred and love and achieve and work hard and become a contributing member of the society. It took a lot to persuade him, as you can imagine. But this young boy was nurtured in an educated family where we are Christians and we believe in God and forgiveness. And today, the same child who was told in school he would never get beyond a C or a D, expected grade, went to Bangor University. I wished he'd come to Glyndwr. Left Swansea, came all the way to North Wales, qualified as a solicitor, was enrolled, having had a 2-1 in law, and is practicing today as a qualified solicitor. And as we came out of a shop one day where we were going to pay, and on the chair, on the cashier, was one of the boys who had attacked him. And I wanted to avoid that cashier, but he said, no, come along, Mom. You know, it's been ages. And he greeted this boy warmly. He shook his hand. The boy didn't recognize him because the chuka that they attacked was a little 7-year-old boy, but he was a young, strong, gymming individual that looked quite buff and tall. And he had to remind him of the day in the toilet and said, I choose to forgive you. And I hope you learn never to hurt someone else. And I wish you all the very best. Little did we know that that very week, that young man's life was changed because he was diagnosed with cancer and sadly passed away. But just that one opportunity he had to make a real impact, he chose to forgive. And I want to tell you that it hasn't been easy. Starting my own career as a lawyer, being told in the job center that I could never get a job in the legal profession in the UK because I'm black, I was told to change my name from Uzo to my English name, which is Linda, and I met a lovely Linda today. I didn't want to be a Linda, but I wanted to get on in life. I became a Linda, and for nearly 10, 15 years, nobody knew my name. It was my daughter who encouraged me. So I want to leave you with a couple of things. That same Linda couldn't get a job in the legal profession. My first job in Wales was selling toys in Toys R Us and packing crisps in the Walker's factory. I don't think I've ever worked so hard. They used to throw me and another black woman into the vat to clean all the gunge. Sorry if you have shares in Walker's. But if you saw the spray, you wouldn't eat it so willingly. So I remember challenging them about putting the only 2 black people in the factory, in the vat, every single night, because no white person wanted to do that work. I was so determined never to give up, to achieve every single dream that I could conjure up in my mind. And I ask you today, now is the time to energize your dreams. Are you dreaming about that future, about that vision that you have for yourself? The Glyndwr University have prepared you with the educational knowledge and background. Now is the time to engage with the inner part of yourself, to be creative in the face of adversity, to call from within yourself the resilience that all the lecturers have placed within you throughout your time of study here. Now is the time to be the you that will make the world proud once again. Now is the time to be the ambassador of this great university. We need not scream about the work of this university if your voices are silent. Tell people about the fantastic lecturers that you've had in this institution, the fantastic support, the flexibility you were given, the inclusive structures that brought you from far and wide to study here. Now is the time to hear the voices of the graduates of Glyndwr University. I didn't stay in Walker's factory. Even though it was a wonderful training spot for me, I interviewed in 2019 to be the first black woman to serve as a specialist policy advisor to the First Minister, and I was successful at that interview. And for 3 years I served him, and I leave you with this one message that he gave me. As I walked into that corridor, I didn't expect anything different. I was the only black face in the whole corridor. You can imagine how I was feeling. Imagine yourself being put in Nigeria, surrounded by black people that look like me. It was very daunting. And he walked towards me with a big smile and a big welcome. And he said, "I hear you're learning Welsh." And I spoke my halting Welsh with my Nigerian accent, and he was so delighted. He left me with a statement. He said, "I believe in the concept of distributed leadership." It took a while for me to understand, where the cleaner is a leader, the secretary is a leader, the administrator is a leader. And he said, "You are the leader that I'm looking to support the work. And if you're in that space plugging your gap, this whole place works well." So I'm going to say, there's a path of distributed leadership for all of you. As you leave Glyndwr University, now is the time to shine a good light on the university and tell good stories about what has gone well for you. And if everything hasn't gone well, tell us gently what to change. Be kind in your conversation, because the lecturers do such an incredible amount of work educating. I don't want to take longer than the 5 minutes I'm sure I have, but I just want to thank this wonderful university. I am honored and truly humbled to stand before you. I'll finish with a statement made by Martin Luther King Jr. He said that an individual has never truly lived until you step outside of the narrow confines of your own individuality to embrace the broader concerns of humanity. How will you do that? By encouraging others to get the education that you have. Because an educated society is a thriving society where people see each other as equals, not less than, not the other, not a foreigner, but as brothers and sisters together. I wish you all the very best, for now is your time to shine. Let's rise together. Well done, graduates. Diolch yn fawr I chi gyd. Thank you.
Cadair Prifysgol, ac I bawb sydd yn bresennol. Fod y Brifysgol wedi rhoi'r awdurdod i'r athro Maria Hinfelar I dderbyn i'w graddau fyfyrwyr Prifysgol Glyndwr Wrecsam a enillodd raddau yn unol â rheolau'r Brifysgol. Gwelir enwau rhai y gellir ei derbyn i'w graddau yn y cynulliad hwn yn y rhestr printiedig sydd wedi ei ddosbarthu. Let it be known to members of the university and to all who are present that the university has granted authority to Professor Maria Hinfelar to admit to their degrees students of Wrexham Glyndwr University who have qualified for degrees according to the regulations of the university. The names of those who may be admitted to their degrees in this congregation are to be seen on the printed lists that have been distributed today. Anrhydeddus isganghellor. Cyflwynaf I chi y myfyrwyr hyn o Brifysgol Glyndwr Wrecsam i'w graddau, diplomau a'i tystysgrifau priodol. Honourable Vice-Chancellor, I present you these students from Wrexham Glyndwr University to their respective certificates, diplomas and degrees. Diploma Addysg Uwch, Diploma of Higher Education.
Jeffrey Ashworth, Sarah Barker, Tamara Curtis and Abigail Elson. Jennifer Gardner, Tamar Herman, Natalie Jones and Adrienne Penn. Catherine Picken, Jacqueline Roberts, Jodie Roberts, Victoria Tynes and Karen Whittaker.
Baglor yn y celfyddydau, anrhydedd. Bachelor of Arts, Honours.
Sheikh Khan, Ying Fawn, Shine Gomez, Chi Kwok Ka Lo, Disha Munsai, Pro Se, Sing Wong, Safwan Islam,
Wel, hoffwn yn awr wahodd yr is-ganghellor I roi ei hanherchiad. I would now like to invite the Vice-Chancellor to give her address.
Chair, graduating students, parents, spouses, friends, colleagues, Honorary Fellows, members of the Board of Governors, ladies and gentlemen. Prynawn da. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you most warmly to today's award ceremony at Wrexham Glyndwr University on what is a very special day for everyone assembled today, whether you are here in person or watching the live stream. This is the first time since 2019 we have been able to hold a formal graduation ceremony in this format, and I'm so pleased to stand here today. Gaining a university degree is one of the highest personal achievements, a test of stamina, commitment, intellectual rigor, and ability. You should be extremely proud. You've worked hard, and you have embraced the opportunity of a university education. So on behalf of all the staff and governors of the university, I'd like to say congratulations, Llongyfarchiadau, and well done. I'm delighted to be the first to shake your hand and to address you here today. It's a real privilege. As the leader of the university, I can truly say that graduation ceremonies are the highlight of the year, symbolizing the values which we stand for. A degree is a valuable asset. It is yours as of today and will remain yours forever. It marks an investment which you have personally made in your future, and this is now being rewarded. There will be others who have also contributed to your personal achievement. This no doubt includes your close family and friends, and they deserve our thanks. No matter how much individual talent you have, very few people can thrive unless they have a supportive environment around them. People on the home front who let you get on with your studies and who lent a listening ear when you needed one. And I'm sure many of them are here today, so let's give them a big thank you, shall we? What does that sound like? Very good. Thank you. Our thanks also include all the staff who have helped you and supported you throughout your time here. The last few years have, of course, been dominated by the COVID-19 pandemic. This has had a profound impact on the way in which we were able to deliver our programs. The key consideration for all our staff, academics and professional services alike, was that we should not compromise on the quality of what we do or on the support which we offered to our students. Our staff demonstrated the ability to adapt to challenging circumstances, and so did our students. We simply got on with it, using remote technology or whatever means possible to get you through the curriculum. Yes, it might have been a very different experience to what you were expecting, but I'm confident that we've emerged stronger than ever. We should also thank our Students' Union, bringing your voice to every level of the university. As a senior management, we worked closely with the SU in our decision-making processes, for instance about fair distribution of COVID hardship funding, which had been allocated by Welsh Government. That was a heartwarming experience, which proves how resilient we are as a university community. So, back to the subject of how valuable a degree actually is. You will now have it on your CV, so it is a passport to future employment or study in your chosen profession. It's proof that you have acquired relevant knowledge, skills and competencies, not least the ability to stick with it and to get to the finish line. You are now an expert in a particular area. Be proud of it, but also keep building on it. It may be the finish line for now, which closes a chapter, but it is, of course, not the end point, and you will keep on developing and learning. This can take many forms, further training or research perhaps. It is especially important that you grow in experience and that you occasionally reflect on how you have grown. It's all too common for people to just plow on and never stop and think. But believe me, it's worth pausing occasionally. And then, as you pause, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Firstly, am I doing a good job? Secondly, am I stretching myself? And thirdly, am I still enjoying it? So let's just dwell on those 3 questions for a moment. The first one, am I doing a good job? That's about performing to the standards as expected, doing what it says on the tin, not disappointing your colleagues or your customers or people at home. It's what you get out of bed for and what you're able to deliver in your chosen role. The second one, am I stretching myself? That's about pushing yourself a little and coming out of your comfort zone. Perhaps not every day. You can't always be over the limit. That wouldn't be healthy. But if you never stretch yourself, then you lose that curiosity and you lose that ability to keep your brain sharp. It needs new things occasionally. And then the third one, perhaps the really crucial one, is the question whether you are still enjoying what you do. Again, we need to be realistic. No job is wall-to-wall fun. I can tell you, being the Vice-Chancellor of a university isn't a laugh a minute either. But enjoyment is about a sense of fulfillment, that you are contributing something, that what you're doing makes you proud. Standing here today and meeting so many graduates certainly makes me proud of my role. And so does a walking around a busy campus, seeing our staff and students using our fabulous facilities. So remember the 3 questions. Am I doing a good job? Am I stretching myself? Am I still enjoying it? And if you're not happy anymore with the answers in your own mind, perhaps it's time for a chat with some people and look for a change. But whatever you decide to do, your degree will always stand you in good stead. I'll now move on to what's been happening at the university. It's been a busy time. In fact, as it's 3 years since the last graduation ceremony in this format, in this auditorium because of the pandemic, there's so much to catch up upon. My speech is going to be 3 times longer. No, it won't be, I promise you. Only joking. So what are the key developments I'd like to share with you? I have to start with how proud we are of the fantastic results again this year in the National Student Survey. Thank you for your support in responding to this survey. We had more than 3/4 of our final year students taking part, which is a better response rate than most other universities. You gave us really good scores on the questions around the quality of teaching on your program and the feedback which your lecturers have provided on your assessments. So we are delighted and really proud to be consistently in the top 10 of all 130 UK universities for teaching quality. The biggest news we received in the past year was that we had been successful in our bid for a 10-year contract with Welsh Government to deliver a whole range of allied health and nursing courses for the whole of North Wales. With brand new facilities at our campuses here in Wrexham and at St Asaph, we will be training the future nurses, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, paramedics, dietitians, operating department practitioners, and speech and language therapists. This is a huge development for the university and for North Wales, offering exciting career opportunities for our students and helping to improve health outcomes for our local communities. It's only fitting that our university won this new contract in the year that Wrexham was also awarded city status. We're really finding that this is a positive development for the university, and we publicly welcomed it. We've also made good progress with the recognition of our research as part of the independent review which takes place across the entire university sector every few years. In the Faculty of Arts, Science and Technology, it was particularly the engineering field which was rated as world-leading for some of the work it does in optics and composites. Our Faculty of Social and Life Sciences did particularly well in the field of social work and social policy, with our criminal justice group also judged to be world-leading. These successes and the growth in our research activities across all our subject areas have given us the confidence to apply for research degree awarding powers. Our submission went to the Privy Council over the summer, giving evidence of how we meet the criteria. We await further news about the external review next year. We've also expanded our range of postgraduate taught programs. There are postgraduate pathways in business, computing, the arts, and many more. So you are welcome to return and join us on these programs at any point in the future. Several hundred international students are now also attending these master's degree programs here in Wrexham, having traveled from India, Africa, as well as Western Europe. On top of that, we have over 3,000 students with partner colleges spread around the world, for instance in Hong Kong, Singapore, China, and the Middle East. We also have around 1,000 students on purely online programs, MBAs and MScs. So the university has grown in recent years. We now have around 10,000 enrollments here in the UK and abroad. So that makes your qualifications truly global, and you are part of a global community. We haven't stopped investing as we roll out our £80 million Campus 2025 master plan. We have delivered refurbishments and upgrades across all our campuses. These projects have added state-of-the-art specialist facilities, such as the healthcare simulation suites, new science labs, and the moot room. Teaching spaces have benefited from renovation, new furniture, and new digital technologies, with an eye to reducing our carbon footprint to make sure that what we do is sustainable. There are welcoming new social spaces across all our campuses, proving popular with students and staff alike. And the best thing of all, students and staff are back on campus in large numbers. That's what we're doing it for. And there is much more to come, with planned new buildings for engineering, for our Health Innovation Quarter, and for the Students' Union. I've always found it incredibly rewarding to see my graduates do well. At Wrexham Glyndwr University, we invite alumni to stay in touch and tell us how you're getting on. We have WGYU Connect and our Careers and Employability Service, which will remain available to you and will be there to help you whenever you need it. And you can also help us. The independent National Graduate Outcomes UK survey will contact you in about a year's time. They gather information from graduates about 15 months after they've completed their studies. I cannot stress enough how important it is for us and for future students that you participate in this survey, so that we can build an accurate picture of the impact and outcomes which your academic programs have. We care about this and will act on any lessons learned. So please cooperate with the Graduate Outcomes UK survey, and we will be truly grateful. Finally, I wish you every success in your future careers, and once again, there's nothing more rewarding than discovering what impact a university education can have on people. So today is about enjoying the moment. Make sure you do that. You deserve it. And for the future, I wish you pob lwc, iechyd a hapus roedd dda, good luck, good health, and happiness. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you.
Anrhydeddus Is-Ganghellor. Cyflwynaf i chi y myfyrwyr hyn o Prifysgol Glyndwr Wrecsam i'w graddau, diplomau a'i tystysgrifau priodol. Honourable Vice-Chancellor, I present to you these students from Wrexham Glyndwr University to their respective certificates, diplomas and degrees.
Daniel Acro,
Meistr mewn Gweinyddu Busnes, Master of Business Administration.
Daniel Ackrow. David Bartlett. David Bartlett. Wing Chan. Gareth Chetwin Ming Chuang. Ka Chong Yi Chow, Valerie Copenhagen and Bethan Davis. Victoria Edwards, Catherine Fellows, David Field and Kevin Field. Marcus Fisher, Chi Hu, Hugh Ip, Y Ip, Wafa Jaffrey. Chris Jones, James Kaufman, Tang Kwam. Phoon Kong, Jana Kopf, Hon Lai, Ka Lam. Hoi Lo, Grace Lee, Feng Lung. Hoi Lo, Sui Luke, Panu Panul Mutamburi, Mohammed Nadu Chali, Scott O'Brien. Joseph Robson, Cameron Steele and Po Chi Tam. Okay, apologies. Peter Saunders. Cameron Steele, Nijan Sudarashan, and Po Chi Tan. Ben Teasdale, Michael Thomas, John Thornton, and Mu Sang. Yi Tsang, Ting Ting Tse, Ian Williams, and Lee Williams. Bun Wong, Ho Wong, Wing Wu. Lineage Perara, Martin Anderson, Halbarishi Malajati. Emily Reddy, Shanithi Sanduran, Lina Ahmed, Hannah Donaldson. Gemma Jones. Here. Hannah Donaldson, Dennis Kanu, Olaf Mansour, and Samuel Ofuna. Kate Spargo, Contestina Glico, Christopher Lame, and Indre Milkonati. David Rees, Musa Beret, Robert Hess Asakre. David Mats, Elodie Serupan, Tanya Wood and Babundi Abugla. Sohal Aziz, Martin Crumlin, Lauren Cullen, William Davis. Pirashardini Gopal, Paul Gregg, Holly Keller, Kotiswaran Paula Pandani. Ian Riddle, Amina Tagari, Stephen Talbot.
Thank you very much. That's been a wonderful session so far. Fantastic. So we now come to the most formal part of the ceremony, and it's the point at which we confer the degrees on you and you become graduates. So at some of the universities this might be done in English, in Latin. We're going to do it in Welsh here today, if that's okay with you. So what's going to happen is the orator will ask me to confer the degrees and all their privileges on you, which I will do. She will then ask me to do the same again for those who can't be present today, and they are getting their degrees in absentia. So, to do it properly, could I please ask you all to stand?
Anrhydeddus Is-Ganghellor. Cymeradwyaf I chi dderbyn y myfyrwyr hynny i'w gwobrau ac I holl freintiau'r graddau hyn.
Trwy awdurdod o Prifysgol a ymddiriadwyd I mi, derbyn I af chwych gwobrau ac I holl freintiau'r gwobrau hyn.
Anrhydeddus Is-Ganghellor. Cymeradwyaf I chi dderbyn yn ei habsenoldeb y myfyrwyr hynny a enwyd yn rhannau priodol y rhaglen i'w gwobrau ac I holl freintiau'r graddau hyn.
Trwy awdurdod o Prifysgol a ymddiriadwyd I mi, derbyn I af I chreu a nodwyd in ei habsenoldeb i'w gwobrau ac I holl freintiau'r gwobrau hyn. That's it, you have your degrees. Congratulations.
Wel, hoffwn yn awr, alw ar gadeirydd bwrdd y Llywodraethwyr I gau y cynulliad y prynhawn yma. I would now like to invite the Chair of the Board of Governors to close the congregation.
Bonefegion, Bonefdigesi. I too am learning Welsh. I am slightly behind Uzo in my development, as you will have noted. Ladies and gentlemen, the granting of an academic award brings with it privileges and responsibilities. Through your hard work and diligence, you have joined a distinguished society of scholars. I would like to add my personal congratulations to those of the Vice-Chancellor and the University. Well done. Be proud, be confident, be the change you wish to make in the world. In doing so, I am formally closing the congregations of Wrexham Glyndwr University. Clongofach Yadai. Congratulations to all, Ibab.
Wel, dyna ddiwedd ein seremoni am y prynhawn yma. Cynhelir cynulliad nesaf Prifysgol Glyndwr Wrecsam y bore fori. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this afternoon's graduation ceremony. The next congregation of Wrexham Glyndwr University will be held tomorrow morning. Gai ofyn i chi gyd i sefyll ac aros ar eich traed hyd nesir o'r ymdaith gan gynnwys y graddedigion newydd adael y neuadd os gwelwch yn dda. May I ask you all to stand and remain standing until the procession, including the new graduates, has left the hall. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you.
you.